Hey everyone, it's your man GS002 coming back at you with another video. Today we're going to talk about the two-pronged approach, what it is and why it's so important. So, if you guys haven't figured it out by now, the videos that I do, I'm going to cover what's going on, um, current events wise, but I'm going to kind of put a STEM, you know, uh, educational spin on it. And I really don't hear a lot of people talking about this, so this is why I'm bringing this up. So one of the things that a lot of people say is that, you know, black people, black women, especially, like they have more degrees, per capita than any other, racial, than any other demographic. More than white women, more than black men, more than white men. There's more black women that are educated than any other demographic. However, black women make some of the lowest salaries um, in the entire country, and so I'm going to kind of break down as to why I think that is, and what we can do to kind of change that. And this is one prong of the two-pronged approach. Um, so anyway, yeah, let's see. So I got some charts here I'm going to show. So this is an article from American Progress, The Neglected College Race Gap, Racial Disparities Among College Completers. Okay, now there's one chart in particular that I want to look at. So here we go. So this is figure one. A comparatively large share of completions for Black and Hispanic students occur in the for-profit sector. Okay, so if you look at public four-year institutions. These are, your typical, like, state universities. Um, you got the whites are completing, they're getting 39.3%. Hispanics are getting 30.6% of the degrees, and black students are getting 27.1% of the degrees. Okay, then it does a further breakdown of two-year institutions. Everybody is 30%. Then nonprofit four-year institutions. Um, I'm not really sure what the difference is between nonprofit and public. Maybe if somebody in the comments could kind of tell me there. I don't know why they broke this out separately, but again, whites 18.1%, Hispanics 12.2%, and blacks 12.8%. Now, this is what's really the kicker here. So you look at for-profit institutions. This is your University of Phoenix, your Strayer University, Capella University, all these, quote unquote universities that basically are diploma mills. They give people worthless degrees, um, and these are the majority of people that are defaulting on student loans because they can't find a fucking job because these degrees are worthless. So if you look at the numbers here, so 11.3% of these graduates are white, 25.2% are Hispanic, 28% are black. Okay, so this is why a lot of black people, mainly, and it's mainly black women that get their degrees from these what are essentially diploma mills. Um, so this is why a lot of people believe or have it in their head that getting an education is not necessarily going to help black people. And the reason why is because black people are getting their degrees from bullshit institutions. If they do go to a public university, typically they'll major in like some gender studies or some Bachelor of Arts or something like that. So one prong of the two-pronged approach is, if you're going to go to college, you need to major in like a STEM subject, and I hate to say that. STEM is very, very hard. I've got a STEM degree. Like I've said before, I've got a bachelor's degree in electrical engineering. I make a good bit of money, um, but I'm not going to sit here and tell you that it's an easy profession. It's an easy degree to get. It's not. You have to be very passionate about it, It's going to be a lot of hard work, but trust me when I tell you that it's going to pay off at the end of the day. Okay, so that is one prong of the two-pronged approach. Is if black folks are going to go to college, you need to do something worthwhile. If you don't want to do if you don't want to do STEM, that's fine. Get a professional degree. Get a marketing degree, get a business degree. Um, something like finance, accounting, that type of thing. But by all means, please do not go to college, okay, and waste your money in some fucking gender studies, African American studies, Bachelor of Arts in Communications, simply because black people, if you were someone who was the child of an executive and you had like a career path you were juiced in because of your parents or some close friends or whatever, that's one thing. But black people, typically, with us being an underclass in America, we have to do things the hard way. Okay, we typically have to be the best people in our entire group to be considered equal. It is what it is. Okay, we have to deal with the situation as it's presented to us. So we have to be pragmatic in our decision making. You don't get this time back, you don't get this money back, so you want to make a decision that is going to give the best bang for the buck that you can. And so, like I said, one part of the two-pronged approach is number one, if you're going to go to college, you need to major in something that's worthwhile. And that is professional degrees, STEM degrees, that type of thing. Now, the second part of the two-pronged approach is, of course, addressing the systemic, the systemic oppression that is prevalent in America. It's actually been on full display lately. I have never seen anything like this before in my life. You know, I'm I'm a middle-aged man. Things have not been this bad since I've heard several people say that, things haven't been this bad since like the 1960s or 1970s from a racial I guess a racial bias or racial hostility standpoint. People are constantly posting videos like the Advice Show. They constantly post videos about, Dog Park Diane, Barbecue Betty, white folks that are just calling the police on black people, calling that enforcement arm of white supremacy, which is what the police are, in my opinion. They're the enforcement arm of white supremacy. Just using the enforcement arm of white supremacy to kind of put to attempt to put black people in their place, or even just straight up like order the execution of somebody or order the incarceration of a black person who's acting out of pocket. Okay, so that is the second prong of the two-pronged approach, is to, of course, consistently call out racial injustice whenever you see it. But the two-pronged approach is very, very important. And why is the two-pronged approach important? So I'm looking at an article here from The Hill. It says Top House Dem dismisses reparations as 2020 candidates endorse the idea. So this fucking coon, okay, this fucking buck dancing, bojangling Negro, okay, House Majority Whip James Clyburn, Democrat of South Carolina. You look at his district. I don't have his district pulled up, but I had heard that his district is well over 50% black. Okay, this guy is saying that he's dismissing reparations. Now, I've heard a lot of different people say that, it's kind of a double play because, white supremacists like to take two sides of the argument. So Nancy Pelosi came out, in favor of H.R. 40, the bill to study reparations, and this fucking buck dancing coon, James Clyburn, he shoots it down and says the reparations are basically not feasible. This guy should be primaried. If this guy is your representative of your district in South Carolina, you fuckers need to get this guy out of here. Okay? This guy is a joke. This guy is a piece of shit. He needs to go. He's a career politician. He's got to go. Okay, this guy does not have your best interest at heart. The Congressional Black Caucus is a failure. It is a fucking failure. It has failed the American people. Okay, and it's, you know, like Tariq Nasheed says, it's time for black folks to start getting on code. We got to start getting on code, black people, because our quote unquote leaders in the government, they aren't doing a goddamn thing for us. They're too busy getting their butter biscuits. Okay, and it's time for ADOS to rise up. Okay, and demand what we're due. Okay, demand our due, demand what we're owed. You know, this is on the political side of things, but if you look in the entertainment side of things, um, see, I was going to pull up an article about Oprah Winfrey. She's basically endorsing this Leaving Neverland. She's like co-signing this Leaving Neverland documentary, okay, where, you know, HBO is trying to throw a dead man, Michael Jackson, under the bus. Okay, I mean, this is fucking ridiculous. This is white supremacy on full display. Okay, so if black folks that are kind of like, you know, got their head in the sand, you know, they're thinking, oh, you know, white supremacy is not really a thing. Like, guys, like, you guys need to wake the fuck up. Okay, white supremacy is a real thing. Okay, it is a full court press. Okay, this is what it is. So what it starts out kind of this, right? Like, it's a soft. Um, it's a soft assertion of power. You've got articles being written. You know, you've got people coming out in the media saying certain things. So that's going to be phase one. And then you've also in the background, you've got the race soldiers in the police department and race soldiers that are not in the police department. They're straight up like executing black people. They're jailing black people. I mean, you can look at the incarceration rates of African Americans versus other racial groups, and that pretty much, you know, supports what I'm saying. But yeah, I mean, it is a full court press by white supremacy. And if these soft tactics don't work, then I hate to see what comes up, what happens next. But I wouldn't be surprised if it would be something akin to what the Nazis did to the Jews leading up to World War II. These are very, very scary times. Black folks, we got to get on code. We have to start acting as a unit. All these shea butter feminists, you people need to stop fucking doing this shit. White people are using you, okay? Don't be the useful idiot, okay? I see the situation for what it is. Everyone needs to be on code, okay? So anyway, this is GH002. This is kind of a long one too. This is approaching 13 minutes. Anyway, guys, I'm going to try to produce more videos. It's been a while since I did my last one. You know, like I said, if you like what you heard here today, you know, give this video a thumbs up. You know, be sure to like, share, subscribe, and I will talk to you guys next time. Peace.